Welcome everyone to my channel. I'm Leanne from Leanne Reads, my new name. So, we are doing a bookshelf tour of my books this year with a little extra added on to it. So, here we have, of course, my lovely shot glass with the Keyblade from Kingdom Hearts 3 and a new little knick-knack. I can't read it backwards, so if you want to read it, go ahead and read it. For my lovely stepmother. This bookshelf, the first one we're looking at, has 22 books on it, and I've not read but 2. So there's only 2 books on here that I haven't read, which is an accomplishment. As you'll see later on, there's a lot of books I haven't read. And we're going to start off with Kiss of Midnight by Laura Adrian. And all of the other books that are coming forward until I say otherwise are Laura Adrian's, because it's a series of The Midnight Breed. Kiss of Chrism. Kiss of Awakening. Midnight Awakening. Midnight Rising. Veil of Midnight. Shades of Midnight. Ashes of Midnight. Taken by Midnight. Deeper than Midnight. Alright, we're not done. Not by a long shot. Darker After Midnight. Edge of Dawn. Crave the Night. Bound to Darkness. Defy the Dawn. Claimed in Shadows. Break the Day. Fall of Midnight. King of Midnight. All by Laura Adrian. That's 18 books in a series. It's a part 1 and part 2 book type of series. So, it's long. You have Grim Reaper End of Days by Steve Alton. I've read it. I read all of these. All of these. From Ash and Blood, Jennifer L. Armentrout. I have not officially read this book. I can't wait to get to it. Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. I'm hoping I'll like it. And I'll start buying the rest of the series. I actually just finished this book yesterday. At the time of this recording, yesterday. The Curl Prince by Holly Black. I will be purchasing the next book to be able to read it. I'm not putting this back on the shelf because I have to record the video for it still. So it's going in my record pile. They really did not make this very stable. Lord Voldemort's wand. They really needed to make it more stable because it falls apart so bloody easily. Because it's top heavy. Like this part of the wand is so top heavy. But I understand that his wand is weird. How could you not see this wand and think evil? How could anybody make this wand and not think, oh, someone evil is going to have it? Right. This is how it's supposed to go. But his wand don't even fit properly in its place holder. It's really terrible. Another shot glass with another Keyblade inside of it. On this bookshelf, I have read 7 out of 12. 7 out of 12 books. Can you believe that? I can't. I cannot believe that. It is terrible. Shadow and Bone by Lee Bardugo. Not read it. Can't wait to pull it out to read it. Six of Crows by Lee Bardugo. I have read it. You guys would know if you've seen it. watched my channel long enough for it, you have probably seen it. If you haven't, go watch it. Show you how I thought about the book. And the next book in the series, Crooked Kingdom, Leigh Bardugo. I haven't pulled it yet, but when I do, I will definitely be reading it. Because I did like the first one. Frozen 2, Forest of Shadows. It is more like a connection. No, this is after. Yeah, this is after Frozen 2. I think it's really interesting. I think it should be part of the Frozen canon. This is the first book in the Twisted Tale, A Whole New World by Liz Brashwell. Just check to make sure you guys can still see it. Ooh. So I can't wait to pull that. Start the Twisted Tale series. The Serpent, The Wings of Night by Cressida Broadbent. I haven't read it yet. My thrifted book of Angels and Demons by Dan Brown. I have read it. And no, it's not annotated because that was back before I started annotating. Like the majority of the books on the first shelf, I didn't annotate. The Da Vinci Code by Dan Brown. Next year, also by Dan Brown. I have to get the next book in his series because this is a series. The Lost Symbol. Inferno. Hope you guys can see that because I can barely see it from where I'm standing. Yes, you can see it. Good. And Origin. There's a new one coming out for the Robert Langdon series, and I want it. This is like a bridge between the movie Frozen 1 and Frozen 2, Polar Nights, Cast into Darkness. It's a really nice bridge gap, and I like it. I have read it. Graceling I have read before I started this channel, so we're going to read it for this channel by Christine Cashore. And I forgot to tell you that this is by Jen Catalita and Mary McCusick. Since Jen's name's first, that's why I heard she's in the seas. Spellslinger by Sebastian D. Castell. I haven't read that one. The next three are by Agatha Christie. We have And Then There Were None. I read this off before I started the channel, so we're going to reread it for the channel. It was also published as The 10 Little Indians. Oh! Sick. Then you have The Sidford Mystery, also known as The Murder at Hazelmoor. We have read this for the channel, and I've read it previously before that. And a book I haven't actually read, Sleeping Murder. I have no clue what it's about. It's a Miss Marple mystery. Never read any of those, so I'm interested to read it. Flamecaster by Cinda Williams Chima. And the last one on this one is The Bone Witch by Rin Chupeco. I'm hoping I say that name right. I hope it's right. If it's not, I apologize. Shelf number 3 has 9 out of 23 that I have read, so there's 23. There's 32 books on this shelf. And I've read 9 of them, so there's 23 unread. First, you have my lovely Haru Haru, which of course, as you know, is my TBR jar. He's precious. He's also broken, and that's the reason why we use him and not the other Haru Haru. Then we have Tears of the Kingdom by the Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom plaque that came with it when you pre-ordered the games. So you have Solo Leveling by Chugong. This is novel 1. I'm actually starting this book tomorrow at the time of this recording. So, yay! Then we have Solo Leveling novel 2. Solo Leveling Level 3, Solo Leveling Level 4, Solo Leveling Level 5, Solo Level 6, Solo Leveling Level 7, and Solo Leveling Level 8 by Chugum. None of which I have officially read. Read ever, I should say. Now, the next bunch is by Cassandra Clare. We have the first book in the Last Hour's Chain of Gold. I have not read. The first book in the Infernal Devices, Clockwork Angel, which I have not read. It was actually supposed to go like this because these come first. Clockwork comes first. City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass. I have read these 3. City of Fallen Angels. This is Immortal Instruments. I have read those 4. The rest I have not. The other 2 in Immortal Instruments I haven't read. So that would be City of Lost Souls. Off camera. I've read them off camera, not on camera. City of Heavenly Fire. You know, I haven't recorded them for the channel. This one I have read recently. The Lady Midnight of the Dark Artifacts, Book 1. I have not read Book 2, Lord of Shadows, but I'm excited to be able to pull this one day in the future. The next 8 are by Owen Colfer. I want to say Eon, but it's Owen. I gotta remember that. Have to remember that. Have to remember. Okay. So I've read the first 2 in the book, which is Artemis Fowl and Artemis Fowl, the Arctic Incident. I have not read Artemis Fowl in the Integrity Code, Artemis Fowl and the Opal Deception. Book! No! You are trying to make me mistreat you, and that is terrible. Do not do that. Now you got a bump there. That is terrible. Artemis Fowl in the Lost Colony. Artemis Fowl in the Time Paradox. Artemis Fowl in the Atlantis Complex. And of course, Artemis Fowl and the Last Guardian. Now, I cannot remember if I read this one or not, so it's like tentatively on my I read before I started the YouTube channel. The Mummy by Max Allan Collins. Now, the last 5 on this is by Cressida Cowell. I've read How to Train Your Dragon, but there are actually 2 special editions in here for story-wise, and one is How to Train Your Viking and The Day of the Dreader, neither of which I have read. I am looking forward to being able to read those. You have How to Be a Pirate, How to Speak Dragonese, How to Cheat a Dragon's Curse, How to Twist a Dragon's Tail. Now those I have not read. This here is my manga little section, quarter area. The shelf up here, I have not read any of those books because they're all in Japanese and I'm very poorly able to speak and read Japanese, so I haven't read none of those. These shelf, which I'm pretty sure is shelf 19. There are 15 books on this shelf, and I've read 9 out of the 6. Now I've read 9 books out of 6 on it. Officially, I've actually watched the anime for these 4, 5, 6 here. So these 6 here have not officially read, but I've watched the anime for. And I have read these 9 off camera. I'm actually starting to read them on camera. So we have Bleach Volume 1, Bleach Volume 2. This is an awkward angle, so excuse me. Bleach Volume 3, Bleach Volume 4, Beyblade Volume 1, Naruto Volume 28. I read these, all of them, but number 6 Volume 1, I've read this one for the channel. Number 6 Volume 2, I have actually finished reading this today. It took me one day to read it, so there you go. Number 6 Volume 3, Number 6 Volume 4, Number 6 Volume 5, Number 6 Volume 6, Number 6 Volume 7, Number 6 Volume 8, Number 6 Volume 9. On that shelf, we have a lovely Heartless with an inner wristband that says Riding Together. You can't see that because it's blurry. On the next shelf below that, we're going to do, which is shelf 20. Shelf 20 has 13 books on it. And Kingdom Hearts Monster Store. Another wristband that says Past, Present, Future Rider on it. Okay. So you have Volume 1 of the Finder series, which is actually called the Target of the Viewfinder in the Viewfinder, but they shortened it to Finder in English. You have Volume 2, Volume 3, Volume 4, Volume 5, Volume 6, Volume 7, Volume 8. Let me put these back. Also, the Bleach, I forgot to tell you. Bleach is written by Kite Kubo. Beyblade is by Takao Aoki. Naruto is Masashi Kishimoto. And number 6 is by Atsuko Asano and her by Hinako Kino. The Finder is written by Ayano Yamane. This is a volume. Which volume are you looking? 9. Your volume 10. And you have volume 11. You have volume 12. And volume 13. This is a BL. Boy love. Boy love. This shelf 4 has 24 books on it. I have read, is it 24 or is it 25? 25. So there's 25 books on the shelf, and I've read 4 out of 25 of them. So there's 21 books on here that I have not read. Excuse that. Don't look at that. So we have another lovely shot glass with the geishas on it and keyblade adorning this shelf with a conch. Hear the ocean. Hear the ocean. You probably can't hear the ocean. Sad. Sad for you, not for me. Finishing off the Cressida Cowell books for How to Train Your Dragon series is How to Ride a Dragon Storm. Sorry. A Hero's Guide to Deadly Dragons, then How to Ride a Dragon Storm. How to Break a Dragon's Heart. How to Steal a Dragon's Sword. How to Seize a Dragon's Jewel. And the last 3 are How to Betray a Dragon's Hero. How to Fight a Dragon's Fury. And The Complete Book of Dragons, a Guide to Dragon Species. We have Cake Eater by Alyssa Delian. This is the first book off the series, off the shelf I have read. The Kill Order by James Dashner. You also have, by James Dashner, The Fever Code. Yeah. The Maze Runner. The Scorch Trials, The Death Cure. None of which I've read. Seen the movies, except for The Death Cure. Saint by Ted Drucker. Lost in a Book, a Beauty and the Beast rendition by Jennifer Daniela. The next couple are from Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, Sherlock Holmes series. We have A Study in Scarlet and Sign of Four in one book, which I read for you guys. The Valley of Fear and His Last Battle, which has 8 short stories in it, as well as the Valley of Fear series. This has a bunch of short stories, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. This one has a bunch of short stories called The Memoirs of Sherlock Holmes. The Hound of the Baskerville. The Return of Sherlock Holmes has a bunch of small stories in it. And of course, the last book with a bunch of small stories in it is The Case Book of Sherlock Holmes, which I've actually never read a lot of these. I've read The Hound of the Baskerville for high school, but the rest... Oh, and The Scandal of Bohemia. I read that one in college. The rest, not so much. Never read them. But I still love Sherlock Holmes, because I've watched a lot of Sherlock Holmes related stuff. Long Live the Pumpkin Queen by Shea Earnshaw. A Night Before Christmas book. Bacchae by Euripides. It's a play. Bookshelf 5 has 24 books on it, and I've read 9 of them. So there's 15 unread on this shelf. If you don't count what's on the Kindle. The Kindle has like 8 books on it that I want to read for you guys. And I've read 10 of them. And I've read all 10 of those. But that don't count because that's a Kindle and it's just sitting there on the shelf, okay? Okay. So we have another shot glass with geisha on it for the shelf. And of course, a shot glass with a geisha on it and a key in there for some reason. We have the Shadow Dwellers trilogy by Jacqueline Frank, Ecstasy, which I've read on the channel for you guys, Rapture, which I've never read, and Pleasure, which I've never read. I read the rest of these back when I was in my late teens, early 20s, so I can't help that, okay? This is the Nightwalker series by Jacqueline Frank, Jacob, Gideon, Elijah, Damien, Noah, Autumn. I can't wait to read this stuff for you guys for this channel. The rest of this bookshelf is by Fuse. The Time I Got Reincarnated as Slime, book 1. I've read that for the channel. Book 2, I have read for the channel. Book 3. That's a weird cover. Book 4. Book 5. Book 6. Book 7. Book 8. Book 9. Book 10. Book 11. Book 12. Book 13. Book 14. Book 15. That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime by Fuse. We have this little thing. It actually broke and I glued it back together. There's actually just a little chip missing from it, but other than that, I think I did a pretty good job. Yeah. Harry Potter's wand. Okay. So we have the last 5 books on the shelf by Fuse. For That Time I Got Reincarnated as Slime. You got book 16. You got book 17. You got book 18. You got book 19. And you got book 20. There are still 2 more coming out, and I can't wait to get them. I can't wait to read them. We have Carvel by Stephanie Gaber. I'm actually in the middle of listening to the audiobook for this. I've don't got much left, really, honestly, to listen to for the audiobook. Maybe like 2 days left, because I only read it when I'm going to and from work. We're taking that off because I just put it on there for this. Eon by Alison Goodman. I've actually read this one. I forgot this one. Memories of a Geisha by Arthur Golden. Sorry, didn't mean to forget you. Iona by Alison Goodman, the sequel to Eon. I've not read him. Read this one. Belladonna by Adeline Grace. The next 3 books are by Daniel B. Green. You have Break Your Peace, which I read. Rebel's Creed, which I need to read. And Young Ghost Book 1, which is Sin, that I have read. Grimm's Fairy Tales. By the way, I forgot to say it. Out of the 32 books on the shelf, I have read 19 of them. I've not read any of these. At least I don't think I have. These I have, but these are by Laura K. Hamilton. You've got Guilty Pleasures. You have The Lapsing Corpse. Circus of the Damned. I'm going to get that all the way off. Bloody Bones. The Killing Dance. Burnt Offerings. And Blue Moon. Now, I've read more of these, because I've read all of these, but I've read more. But I don't know if I want to get them because there's a lot of men in this. It's like a manhunt, and I don't really feel comfortable reading a lot of that stuff. I read this one, Reflections on the Way to the Gallows, translated and edited with an introduction by Mikisio Hanai, Rebel Women in Pre-War Japan. I actually had to read this. I think this is what I read in Japan while I was in college in Japan. Bride by Ali Hazelwood. I have not read. I read all 3 of these off before I started the channel, but I'm reading them now for you guys on channel. Goblin Quest by Jim C. Hines. Goblin Hero. And Goblin War, which is the Jig Goblin series. I can't wait to pull the next 2 for you guys because they're fun little things. Realm of the Elderlings is a very long series, but it has a lot of small trilogies and one 4-book series in it. So it's long, and this is like the prequel to it all. The Willful Princess and the Piebald Prince. It's all by Robin Hobb, and she's a masterful genius. And I've read like 6 of them? 7, if you got that one. So you have Assassin's Apprentice, Royal Assassin, Assassin's Quest. This is a Farseer trilogy. The last one in this bookshelf is The Ship of Magic and Mad Ship, which is the Liver Ship Traders trilogy. First 2 books in it. I haven't read those. Okay, shelf 21 is in this little corner over here, and there's 12 books on it. I read these on a web novel website, so I don't count them as read them physically. Here is Vanitas from Kingdom Hearts with another NaNoWriMo band, which says, "Find your story inspiration adventure community NaNoWriMo," which actually stopped. There's no NaNoWriMo now. It's kind of sad. Junjo Romantica, novel 1. Junjo Romantica, novel 2, volume 2. These are manga. Junjo Romantica, novel 3. Junjo Romantica, novel 4. Junjo Romantica, novel 5. Junjo Romantica, novel 6. Junjo Romantica, novel 7. Junjo Romantica, novel 8. Junjo Romantica, novel 9. Junjo Romantica, novel 10. Volume 10. Keep saying no. Don't know why. Here is volume 11 of Junjo Romantica. And volume 12. And it's by Shungiku Nakamura. And it is a boy's love. So holding the Finder series is this lovely wolf, and holding the Junjo Romantica is this lovely penguin. I don't know if there's going to be any more Junjo Romantica coming out in America. There are like more volumes, but none of them have been translated into English to be sold over here, which is sad. This shelf standing in front of you is shelf number 7, and it has 19 books on it, and I've read only 4. We have Link Amiibo from Tears of the Kingdom. Haven't opened. This is part 1 of a lovely little set of roses and flowers. I don't know if you can see that, but it's very beautiful, and this is what it came in. It has 2 of them. You'll see the other one as a decoration around here somewhere, because I like having little baubles on here. Just little ones. Not a lot, but just a little. Wait, you're not supposed to be on the shelf. I'm taking you off for a reason. Okay, the rest of Robin Hobb's Eldritch series, of the Eldering, sorry. This is the last one in the trilogy of the Liver Ships, which is Ship of Destiny. Then you have the Tawny Man trilogy, which is Fool's Errand. Golden Fool and Fool's Fate. Next is the Rainwild Chronicles, which is Dragon Keeper, Dragon Haven, City of Dragons. Yes, I know it's a different thing, but there's nothing I can do about it. And Blood of Dragons. The last 3 books in her complete series is another trilogy, which is called the Fitz and the Fool trilogy, which is Fool's Assassin, Fool's Quest, Assassin's Fate. We have 3 K. Hooper books for the Bishop Special Crimes Unit, Chill of Fear, which I have read with you guys. Blood Dreams, which I have not. And A Deadly Web, which I have not. Read either of those. I've only read The Tawny Man on this shelf. And the K. Hooper Chill of Fear. Everything else I have not read. The Disabled Tyrant's Beloved Pet Fish by Jui Shon Fu-hee, Volume 1. Novel 1, sorry. Not Larissa Iona's Demonta series, Sin Undone, Passion Unleashed, Ecstasy Unveiled, Desire Unchained. Alright, we have this little thing here that says, if all else fails, take a nap. And then we have this, which is for the heavily used special blessings. I think it's cute. Excuse me if you see in my pajamas. Kinda just at home for the day. There are 22 books on this shelf, and I've only read 1 book off from this shelf. I gotta get a move on and start reading the shelf, huh? The rest of the Larissa Iona's Demonta, which is Pleasure Unbound, Reaver, Revenant, and Reaper. There's more. I just don't have them because I didn't know I needed them. I'm a little disappointed, and I don't even know what order they're in. They're just in this order for right now. Sad puppy face. Hello. I have some Lisa Jackson's Die series, Ready to Die, what do you mean? Deserves to Die, and Expecting to Die. This is Ghost Stories that M.R. James compiled together. Now, Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time, Book 1, The Eye of the World, The Great Hunt. That's it. That's all I have. I gotta get into it. I don't want to purchase more until I know whether or not I'm actually enjoying Robin Jordan's Wheel of Time. Julie Kagawa's Shadow of the Fox, Soul of the Sword, Night of the Dragon. Then we have this by Toshikazu Kagawaguchi, which Before the Coffee Gets Cold. It's a novel. There's actually 3 of them in the series, and I didn't know that. This is a puppet play called Chushingura, which is the Treasury of the Loyal Retainers, and it's translated by Donald Keene, which is why it's in the case. Volume 9, the only one I have, of Vampire Hunter D, The Rose Princess, and it's by Hideaki Kikuchi, and I have no idea whether or not I'm going to purchase more of these because there's like over 30 of them. And that's dedication to I don't know if I have. I like watched an old anime of Vampire Hunter D, and I think it was about the Rose Princess. I don't really recall. Now there's a bunch of Stephen King. That's no good. Why was that cracking? You have the complete serial novel, The Green Mile. You have Mr. Masares. You have Misery, the one book I've actually read on this shelf. The Shining. This was read by my mother, that's why it looks terrible. This is a thrift one called Gerald's Game. And this, read by my mom as well, is The Gunslinger, Part 1, The Dark Towers. We have this nice little yellow angel. Yes, I know her wings are broken on the side here and on the side here. Sorry, she's delicate and old. Let's use my fellow's wand. Then you have the rest of the Dark Tower series. The Drawing of the Three. The Wastelands. Wizard and Glass. Wolves of the Kala. Song of Susanna. In the Dark Tower. Bag of Bones. Cujo. Everything's Eventuals, which is a bunch of short 14 Dark Tales in it. I think Bag of Bones has like a bunch of short tales in it. 2. No, it's a novel.
It doesn't get worse than this.
The Stand. Dolores Claiborne. The Talisman. The Black House. These are by Stephen King and Peter Straub, and they're 2 of the books I've read on this shelf. I've read Dean Koontz's The Husband, which I really enjoyed. I have not read Forever Odd or Odd Hours. I have read False Memory and False Sight. But I have not read False Future by Dan Krokos. I have not read The Prophecy by Chris Kuzneski. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson. Maurice LeBlanc, Arsène Lupin, Gentleman Burglar, Arsène Lupin versus Sherlock Holmes, Arsène Lupin, The Hollow Needle, Arsène Lupin 813, The Crystal Stopper, The Confessions of Arsène Lupin, The Golden Triangle, and The Return of Arsène Lupin, all by Maurice LeBlanc. There's of course more. I've only read the Arsène Lupin Gentleman Burglar. They're all a bunch of short stories, I believe. You know guys, I hate it when I come in and I start recording something and then I forget to push the record button. So on this bookshelf, we have 34 books and I've read 20 of them. We have Kingdom Hearts Chopsticks 20th Anniversary and Monster Donald. We have the last 3 books in Maurice LeBlanc's Arsène Lupin series. The Secret of Saret, The Teeth in the Tiger, and The 8 Strokes of the Clock. None of which I've read. I've read all 7 of these because it's C.S. Lewis's Chronicles of Narnia, Magician's Nephew, The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, The Horse and His Boy, Prince Caspian, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, The Silver Chair, and The Last Battle. I have not read these books, but The Dream House Kings by Robert Leperio, House of Dark Shadows, Watcher in the Woods, Gatekeepers, Timescape, Whirlwind, and Frenzy. I have read these next 4 books, which is The Giver by Lois Lowry, the Pantheon series, Age of Ra, The Age of Zeus, Age of Odin by James Lovegrove. I have not read yet A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I have read The Merchant of Death, The Lost City of Far. Now, a couple of these I have not read for you guys, but I have read back in high school. The Neverwar, The Reality Bug, Black Water, The Rivers of Zada, and The Quillian Games were all read in high school. Long time ago. These ones were not out yet, so I didn't get a chance to read them, but The Pilgrims of Rain, Raven Rise, and The Soldiers of Hala, Pendragon series by D.J. McHale. We have President's Two Dangerous Secrets, The Story of Iduna and Agnar by Mary McCusa. The Beginning of Nina Wilde and Eddie Chase series by Andy McDermott, The Hunt for Atlantis. I'm hopefully going to read listen to the Audible of The Tomb of Hercules this month. Bookshelf 22 over here, which you can't see very well. We have Sora, Toy Story Sora. Holding them up on the shelf is, of course, Glaceon. We have Hikari no Go Volume 1, Hikari no Go Volume 2, Hikari no Go Volume 3, Hikari no Go Volume 4. I have actually not read these. I've seen the manga. I'm trying to get all of the manga. Seen the anime. I'm trying to get all the manga so I can actually read them all. I've seen the anime, but not read the manga. So Yu Yu Hakusho Volume 1, which I've actually read for you guys. Yu Yu Hakusho Volume 2, Yu Yu Hakusho Volume 3, Yu Yu Hakusho Volume 4, Yu Yu Hakusho Volume 5, Yu Yu Hakusho Volume 6, 7, and 8. Now, Hikari no Go is by, the story is by Yumi Hotta, and the art is by Takeshi Obata. This is by, story and art is by Yoshihiro Togashi. On shelf 11, there are 18 books on this shelf, and I've only read 10. I've read up to here for the, no, I've read 11. That's wrong. Ooh. I read 11 out of the 18 books on this shelf. So family is not an important thing. It is everything. So I've read up to this book here, which you'll find out what it is in a minute. We have The Secret of Excalibur, The Sacred Vault. We have The Covenant of Genesis, The Pyramid of Doom, Empire of Gold, Return to Atlantis. So I read all of these. I actually read them all on ebook version, so I'm going to read them physically or listen to them if they have audibles for them. Exciting. It's the Nina Wilde and Eddie Chase series by Andy McDermott. Now for the rest of the ones I haven't read that are the same author, same series. The Valhalla Prophecy, Kingdom of Darkness, Revelation Code, The Midas Legacy, The Spear of Atlantis, King Solomon's Curse, The Resurrection Key, and of course The Temple of Skulls. There's, I think, another book coming out, so yay on that. So many books in my life that I want to get to, that I want to enjoy, that I want to read. Yes, I know they're all different sizes. It's not my fault. Amazon. I blame Amazon. And I'm forever going to blame Amazon because it is Amazon's fault. Stephanie Meyer's Twilight series. I've read Twilight. I've read New Moon. I've read Eclipse. And of course, yes, I have read The Second Short Life of Bree Tanner. This shelf has 22 books on it, and I have read 15 out of the 22. We have Our Kisses. It's actually a stereo thing. Do I use it? Not really. We have Butterbeer. It's a fake barrel. Did have candy in it. What? I don't know. And of course, we have the rest of the Twilight series, Breaking Dawn. And Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer. When this came out, I read it. I have no qualms about admitting that. I just had to, okay? Had to. Devin Monk's, Allie Beckstorm, I think it is. Yeah, the Allie Beckstorm series, Magic to the Bone. Which doesn't want to stand up. Magic in the Blood. Magic in the Shadows. Magic on the Hunt. Magic on the Storm. I read all of those. I think I've even read this one, which is Magic at the Gate. I know I haven't read Magic for a Price. Magic on the Line. Magic Without Mercy. There's a really good thing about this. It's got magic, but it costs something. So when you use magic, you have to pay a price. And you don't know what that price is until after you've used the magic. This is The Savage Garden by Mark Mills. Asian Ghost Stories, short stories. I have no clue why this is here. Besides the fact that it is here. It's just here. I guess I had nowhere else to put it. I don't know. Gravitation's novel, Voice of Temptations, and another novel called Gravitation's the Novel, which is both by Maki Murakami. The BL novels. Makiko's Diary, Merchant Wife in 1910 Kyoto by Nakano Makiko, which I've read for college. So, Garth Nick's Keys of the Kingdom, Mr. Monday, I have read. Grim Tuesday, Round Wednesday, and Star Thursday. I read them in high school. So you'll forgive me if I've read them not on my channel. I have not read, though, Lady Friday, Superior Saturday. On this lovely shelf, we have the other little thing, cup thing, I think it's a shot glass, and Bellatrix Lestrange's wand. So there's 28 books on the shelf, and I've only read 10. The last book in the Keys of the Kingdoms, which is Lord Sunday, I have not read. Desire Untamed. Obsession Untamed. This one is on my Audible that I'm going to read this month. We have Passion Untamed, Rapture Untamed, Hunter Untamed, Ecstasy Untamed, A Love Untamed, Wolf Untamed. They're by Pamela Palmer and Vera Farrell. Warriors novel. My Name is Red by Orhan Pamuk. I read this in college. It's good. The Games Gods Play by Abigail Owen. Have not read. The Same Sea by Osmos Oz. Have read for college. Aragon. Breast Singer, Inheritance by Christopher Paolini, which is the Aragon series. I have read all those. I have not read this one by Christopher Paolini, which is Murtaugh. I have read Wither by J.G. Pazzarella. I didn't even know there was 2 other books for it. I'm hoping to be able to get those and read them. The Westing Game by Alan Reskitz, which of course I read in college. The Reckoning of Roku by Randy Rigby, which is of course part of the Chronicles of Avatar, which I have not read. He's got the second novel of that one coming out, because there are 2-part duologies for that Chronicles. Anne Rice's Interview with a Vampire. I've read Anne Rice's The Vampire Lestat, and of course The Queen of the Damned, which is of course the Vampire Chronicles. I have not read The Queen of the Damned either. Watched the movies. Miss Peregrine's Home for a Particular Trigger by Ransom Riggs. And then we have some Rick Gordon's, Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, The Sea of Monsters, Over, The Titan's Curse, and of course, The Battle of Labyrinth, which I've not read any of those. Shelf 14, there's 27 books on it. I have read 13 out of the 27 on it.
I'm not Scarlet. I can read.
There is nothing on that side for things, so there you go. More Rick Riordan's The Last Olympian, The Lost Hero, The Son of Neptune, The Heroes of Olympus.
She wasted all that time in the bathroom. I didn't even get to get a
The Heroes, oh, The House of Hades. This one was actually the Mark of Athena, sorry. And of course, The Blood of Olympus. You have Nora Roberts writing as J.D. Robb, Innocent in Death. Veronica Ross, Divergent, Insurgent, and Allegiance. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling. These are a bunch of Harry Potters. Chamber of Secrets. The Tales of the Beetle and the Bard. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them by Newt Scamander. Quidditch of the Ages by Kenilworth West. The Prisoner of Azkaban. The Goblet of Fire. The Order of the Phoenix. The Half-Blood Prince. The Deathly Hallows. I've read all these, except for like the Quidditch of the Ages and the Fantastic Beasts. I have not read those. I have not read The Dragon King's Palace by Laura Jo Rowland. A Frozen Heart by Elizabeth Rudnick. Lout of Count's Family by Yu Ryo Hum. I have read Holes by Louis Sanchar, but it's a different edition that I read. It's a special one. I've actually seen the movie too. I've read these last 3 books as well. Little Saints Crow's Jill Kismet's series. Night Shift. Hunter's Prayers. And Redemption Alley. We have a box of Yu-Gi-Oh cards on here. The last bookshelf in the corner over there that you can't really see is Solo Leveling, and it's bookshelf 23. I have read all 11 of the books on here on Tapas, but I'm going to reread them because I enjoyed it. You have this, which I got from a wedding that I went to. My cousin's wedding. A Yellow Rose for Gratitude. I don't remember where I got that from. You have Evie holding down the fort for them. Make sure they don't flop over. These are by Chugon. Dubu, Redice Studio did the artwork. So Solo Leveling Volume 1, Solo Leveling Volume 2, Solo Leveling Volume 3, Solo Leveling 4, Solo Leveling 5, Solo Leveling 6, Solo Leveling 7, Solo Leveling 8, Solo Leveling 9, Solo Leveling 10, and Solo Leveling 11. This is shelf 15, and there's 31 books on here, and I read 23. So I only have 8 books left to read from this shelf. Isn't that kind of cool? So we have Link from the Link's Awakening. It's about Broken, courtesy of 6-year-old, who wasn't 6 when he started playing with it. Finishing off with Lily St. Crow's a series called Jill Kismet. We have Flesh Circle, Heaven's Spite, Angel Town, which I haven't read none of those. I had to purchase them to get them. Sharon Sala's Dark Water. Brandon Sanders is Mistborn of the Cosmere whole universe in the Mistborn trilogy, which is actually, this is supposed to be not Mistborn itself, but the Final Empire is what it's actually considered. Mistborn, the Final Empire. This by The 13 Hollows by Michael Scott and Colette Freeman. Michael Scott's first, that's why it's in the S's. Excuse the singing if you hear it. Can't do nothing about it. The Gossamer Years, a diary of a noble woman of Han, Japan. Translated by Edward Schneider Sticker. That's why it's in the S's. I read this in college. Then Sean's The Saga of Lauren Crisply, Birth of a Killer, that I've read. Ocean of Blood, which I read. Palace of the Damned, which I haven't read. Brothers to the Death, which I haven't read. The rest I've read. The rest of them are all full Darren Shawn. This is all Darren Shawn. So much Darren Shawn. This one has 3 books in it, so I counted it as 3 books because I'm actually planning on getting the other 3 books out of it, so that way I have all 3 physical books instead of having it as a whatever this 3 books in one. I don't really like this type of stuff, so I'm going to buy to split 3. And this is Crypto Freak series with a living nightmare, the vampire's assistant, and Tunnels of Blood in this, which, like I said, I'm going to get the, I'm going to split it up. Vampire Mountain, Trials of Death, The Vampire Prince, Hunters of the Dusk, I don't really like anthology. I mean, 3 books in one type of stuff. Annabus. There we go. I did The Hunters of the Dusk. So, Allies of the Night. Killers of the Dawn. The Lake of Souls. Lord of the Shadows. And of course, Sons of Destiny. So that would be the end of the Crypt of Freak series, or the Saga of Darren Shawn. Yes, that's also the author's name. He just, I don't know. He's weird like that. I read all those in high school. The Demonta series by Darren Shawn. You have Lord Lost.
Lincoln, Daddy's here.
Demon Thief. Slaughter. back. Blood Beast. Demon Apocalypse.
Adam says, Happy Mother's Day.
Death Shadow. Wolf Island. So we have Zelda and her Loft Wing from Skyward Sword. It's also starting to come apart. I'm so terrible with my amiibos. And their packages still. And these two are the only hardcovers I have for the Manta series. You have Dark Calling and Hell's Heroes, which puts the end to it. Read them. You have The Thin Executioner, the last book by Darren Shawn. And then you have a bunch of Gina Showalter. So now we have a bunch of Gina Showalter. It's a lot. I think I could fill up this whole shelf with them if I really wanted to. And this is actually shelf 16, and there's 22 books on here, and there's only 4 books that I've read. These 4 in the very beginning. So, the last book I read on this shelf, Alice in Zombieland. This is the White Rabbit Chronicles. So, Through the Zombie Glass. The Queen of Zombie Hearts. A Mad Zombie Party. Alien Huntress novel. So, Awaken Me Darkly.
That's so beautiful.
Enslave Me Sweetly. Ecstasy in Darkness. Seduce the Darkness. Savor Me Slowly. Dark Taste of Rapture. And pretty sure there's one more. Yes, in here is Tempt Me Eternally by Gina Showalter. I don't know if I'll read Cressley Cole's Untouchable. Now, Into the Dark here has more than one book in it. It actually has The Darkest Fire, The Amazon's Curse, and The Darkest Prison, which are all part of the Lords of the Underworld series. They're novellas. The Darkest Night, Darkest Kiss, Darkest Pleasure, Darkest Whisper, Darkest Passion, Darkest Lie, The Darkest Secret. Get in the way of the camera. Meet my cat. He's kicking. This is bookshelf 17 right here in front of you. This one down here. Bookshelf 17. I have read 5 out of the 28 books on this shelf. That's not a lot. We have the rest of Gina Showalter's Lords of the Underworld. Darkest Surrender. Okay. Darkest Surrender. The Darkest Seduction. At this point, books start getting weird because buying them off from Amazon, secondhand, can't do nothing about it. The Darkest Craving. The Darkest Touch. The Darkest Torment. The Darkest Promise. The Darkest Warrior. And The Darkest Queen. Now onto the last 4, which is actually the Atlantis Tales? A Tale of Atlantis. Yeah, the Atlantis Tales. So, Heart of the Dragon, Jewel of Atlantis, The Vampire Bride, and The Nymph King. There are more books, I think, for Lords of the Underworld. Not sure. Might also be more for the Alien Huntress and the Tale of Atlantis, but I don't know. I haven't checked. I bought a lot of these secondhand. we have Scythe. The Scythe series, Scythe by Neil Shusterman. Thunderhead. These are the only two out of this that I've read out of the series. I can't wait to read the rest. The Toll, and of course, Gleanings. We have a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I think this might be actually in my deck. I don't know. My deck's around here somewhere. Alright, this has 2 books in it. I'm actually thinking about maybe buying split. So I had the split versions of the book because this has the Fallen series, the Fallen and the Leviathan in here. And this one has Airy and the Reckoning in it. Say hi, cat. This is Wendy Corsi Staub's Bone White. Monday Landy's book 3. It means I'll probably have to buy book 1 before I can read book 3. Or maybe I'll just read book 3, and if I like it, I'll go back and read book 1 and 2. Peter Straub's Floating Dragoon. He's the one who sat there and wrote The Talisman and Black House with Stephen King, so maybe I'd like his work along with Stephen King. So Floating Dragon is my Chico choice. Read him. Haven't read it yet, though. I have read this one, though. Dracula by Bram Stoker. This next book is by Megumi Tachimori, and it is called Gifto. It is in Japanese. I don't know if I'll ever actually read it because I really don't understand a lot of Japanese, but we'll see. This might be my attempt to read a novel by learning Japanese. You know what? I don't even know why I keep this. This is the Mirayama Books and Magazine store that I got it from. This is how they wrap their novels and stuff in. I don't really need that. So I'm just gonna leave this out like this. It was protecting it, but I don't really need it. And this is much better. Gift. I think I like it better. And you can actually see it. Alright. Whoopsie. I have Sabatiers and Ember and the Ashes, first book in it, and I also have A Torch Against the Night. I wanted the human cover one, but they don't have that on Amazon, and I couldn't find it nowhere else. A little sad. This one's not in the bookshelf properly because I don't have room for it. And also, I don't know if I'm going to keep reading the series. I barely enjoyed this one, so I'm going to give A Torch Against the Night a chance, and if I don't like it, I'm going to DNF the whole series. So, really no reason to try to make room if I might not enjoy the book to want to keep it. Yeah. This got chewed up by a dog. It's leather-bound The Hobbit. It was my very first spread edges by J.R.R. Tolkien. Yeah, it's very small print. Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. The Two Towers. And of course, The Return of the King by J.R.R. Tolkien. This last bookshelf has 31 books on it, and I've read 10 out of 21. And 2 of them don't count. And you'll find out why they don't count. So technically 8 out of 20. 8 out of 30, technically. 8 out of 29 or something like that. Oh my god, I can't do math. Anyways. Can't really see his name, man. I don't know if you can on the camera, but I can't off camera. You can barely see it, but you can still see it just a little bit. So J.R. Ward, Dark Lover from the Black Dagger Brotherhood, Lover Awakened, Lover Mine. That's it for those ones. Still J.R. Ward, the Black Dagger Legacy, Blood Kiss, Blood Fury, Blood Truth, Blood Vow. I didn't read those yet. The Wizard Lord by Lewis Watt Evans of the Novels of the Chosen. The Ninth Talisman. The Summer Palace. We have Night by Ellie Weasel, which is one of my few nonfiction books I like to keep around. I've already read that in college. Black Bear by Nancy Worland. Paranormalcy by Kirsten White. Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros, which I haven't read yet, but it's on my list of things to read. As you know, it's in my TBR. I'll get to it when I get to it. This is my last May TBR book, Rebecca York's Witching Moon. I didn't know this was actually book 3. It's actually Ruth Glick, but it's Rebecca York on there, so that's where I'm going to put it in the Wise. So I'm not going to put that back in. The Rise of Kiyoshi, The Shadow Kiyoshi, The Dawn of Yangchen, The Legacy of Yangchen, Chronicles of the Avatar, the first 4 books by F.C. Yee. The 5th one we've already talked about. I've read the first 2. Whew. This is a reach, man. A reach. And my 2 little things that were supposed to be up here are gone. Courtesy of my nephew. Legend of Exorcism by Phi Tian Yi Jiang. And then we have Heaven's Official Blessing by Mo Zhang Dong Zhu. Now I have all 8 of them. This is the first special edition. This is the second book. This is the second special edition. Now I read both of the first 1 and 2 of the normal. I just I'm not reading. I'm not actually going to physically read the special editions. This is book 3. And then this is also special edition book 3, which I'm not going to read. So that's 3 books I'm not going to read physically, but technically I have read the first 2, even if I haven't cracked them open to read them. Here's book 4. I'm waiting for the special edition to drop to buy it. Book 5, waiting for the special edition. Book 6, book 7, and of course book 8. Eventually the special editions will drop, right? And I will get them. We also have Ginny Weasley's memory down here. Alright, so shelf 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, and some of 29 have Gosho Aoma's Meitante Conan, or Detective Conan as it's translated in English, or as the English translation they call it is Case Closed. So it's got 94 volumes. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, was a library book. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. Has a picture of my mom when she was a teenager, young adult, her handwriting. So this is Zoloft with Zelda. This is my open amiibo. Oh hey look, stuff that goes on my bookshelf. These go on my bookshelf on the other side. My Hogwarts castle, that's ruined. Benjamin, the nephew. They don't belong over here. They belong somewhere else. I'll go put them up later. Oh look, another thing that belongs to my bookshelves. That actually belongs down here. You have 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. There are 17 on the first three shelves, and I've read none of them because I've watched the anime. But I have plans to read them. Another conch. Say hello to it. So you have 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, and there's 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, and 51. These next two have 18 on them. My grandfather in the military, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61. Alright, my bottom shelf, I might have to change this out for something a little more stable. So we're going to put this one somewhere else. And put this one on the bottom shelf. 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69. Another Hogwarts, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, and 87. Another conch, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94. Now there are about 104 volumes out of this series. So we're catching up. 95's on pre-order, I think, soon. So the next one is Sanami Mato's BL Fake. There's 1. There's 2. That's volume 3. Volume 4. Volume 5. Volume 6. And volume 7. I have read all of them. I want to read the EX Fake, but I don't know if it's officially translated into English. Another BL by Sanami Mato is Until the Full Moon. There's 1. And there's 2. She has another series out for it called At the Full Moon, which I would like. It's actually been serialized, so I need to purchase it. Story and art by Kazuki Takahashi is Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist Volume 1. And that finishes off that one. I've read that. At the very bottom here, as you can see, I've moved this. It might hold it better because these keep flopping over. So, we have The Beginning After the End, story by Turtle Me, art by Fuyuki23. This is the Tapas manhwa of it. I would like to get the novel, especially since the anime is, being aired. We have that was 1. This is 2. This is 3. This is 4. Then you have The Legend of Zelda Oracle of the Seasons by Akira Himikawa, which is story and art by her. I think you can see that just fine. Yeah. Then you have Gundam Wing, story by Hajime Yadate and Yoshiyuki Tomino, and art by Koichi Tokita. That's 1. That's 2. And that one is 3. Now maybe they'll prevent it from falling. We'll see. So I've decided that I'm going to take this here, which is not the special edition of Murtaugh, and I'm going to use this as the one I'm going to read from. And the other one is going to be my special edition. So we're just going to stick that right there. That's the end of my bookshelf tour. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you enjoyed my bookshelves, I hope you give me a like, commentary, and your lovely subscription down below. Give me a review of what you think about it, what books you want to see me read. If you got a request, maybe I can do the request instead of doing hard TBR. Yeah, so I'll see you next illusion.